What's good with your family? How y'all doing? This is Marrio Mathews, owner and operator of Minutes Till Dawn Productions, and author of the new book, Dream No More, Rise of a Lion. Dream No More, Rise of a Lion is a coming of age tale featuring a young black boy named Lion who is on a quest to save his family from an all powerful sorceress. Join Lion, Dior, Lisa, and Jill as they quest to retrace their steps back to where they found Lion upon him being injured, nursed back to health, and they are unraveling the mystery surrounding his unique circumstances. And they are also helping him hone the skills necessary for his journey ahead to save his family. This is a sci fi fantasy epic novel, and it is in stores right now on Amazon and Lulu.com. Amazon, you can get the paperback ebook. Lulu, you can get this hardback version. It is dope. If you love sci-fi, if you love fantasy, adventure, video games, RPGs, anime, family friendly content. This has no curse words in it, mild violence. It's a dope book. You can share it with your family. It's written in this unique, scripted, simplified, scripted format. Man, it is dope, man. Dream No More, Rise of a Lion. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we here to talk about Dream No More, Rise of a Lion again here at this Arthur's Corner. You know what I'm saying? And today we are going to talk about chapter one. So, chapter one of Dream No More, Rise of a Lion. We are going to break down a lot of the different, stuff within chapter one. And we are just going to get into it, man, because every time I think about this thing, I just light up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my time to share myself, my works, my baby. And share it all with you, man. Share it with you. Share it with the audience, the family, the friends, the fans. Much love and respect to y'all, man. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And we be getting into some bars here in this Author's Corner. So let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing I would like to talk about with chapter one is the title, The Strength to Overcome. Now, the theme in this chapter is all about it's all about sort of finding yourself within this moment, this grandiose moment of weakness, this overwhelming moment of weakness. It's about strength. You know what I'm saying? Finding that strength. And that's why I named it the title that I did, because you'll notice in chapter one that Lion, man, he's beat up pretty badly. You know what I'm saying? He's beat up pretty badly. He gets an assessment from jail, and jail, concludes that, he's paralyzed. He's paralyzed from the waist down, man. He didn't come out of that explosion without a big ailment, and she concludes that he has a chance to get back on his feet, but it'll take some time, and it takes some energy, and really taking the patience, due diligence, and a lot of rehabilitation when it comes to getting those motor skills back to where they need to be. So in this particular chapter, this is Lion sort of getting out, or finding that strength within himself, not only physically but mentally and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Because he's it's almost as if his entire world in less than a day, his world just flipped upside down, right? And this young kid is now in this foreign place trying to figure out, okay, what is going on? What do I need to do? I need to find my family. I need to help them, save them. But how can I do that when I can't even help myself? I can't save myself. Or maybe I can. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can find the strength that I need in order to overcome this challenge. It's a challenge. And if my family can do it, if they can survive, I know I can. So that's what this is about. All right, so let's get into some more balls, man. I love it. I love it. Okay, so the characters in this particular chapter, we got about let's see, we got two, four, six, seven characters. We got seven characters that appear in this particular chapter. Um, let's see, four of which are brand new characters, and these are major characters that are, being introduced. Particularly Dior, Lisa, and Jill, also known as the Kendrick family. Okay, so Tukey is also mentioned in this chapter, and this is the only chapter that Tukey. Well, not much the only chapter she's mentioned, but the only chapter she makes an appearance. And Tukey is a very interesting character. So you'll see what's going on. You'll see what's going on, especially if you follow the book. If you follow it really closely, I'm pretty sure you can figure out exactly what's happening with Tukey. But anyway, we'll continue. We'll continue. Anyway, let's get to the plot. Let's get to the plot. So, in the chapter, in the previous chapter or the prelude, at the end of the prelude, this big explosion engulfs the entire battlefield. Lion and his nanny gets briefly separated, and the next thing you know, the explosion engulfs the meadow and it engulfs the forest, and everything is just blinded by light, right? So Lion wakes up and he finds himself in this very strange place. Very strange place. The weather is constantly changing. The food tastes funny. You know what I'm saying? Like animals taste funny. The weather is just doing all this kooky stuff. This endless forest. You could like just endless, like endless sort of forestry. There's this hole in the sky. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? So Lion wakes up to all of this, and immediately though, his first thought is, okay, I need to find my family. I need to figure this out. Where am I? I don't know where I'm at, but I need to find them. Okay, and that's when he's introduced to the character of Tukey. So Tukey, she is this really weird this weird character that doesn't seem to have doesn't seem to have very much vocabulary skills, and is a wild, like a character that's really looks like they grew up in the jungle or something like that, right? She got these short teeth, and her skin is fused into this scaly, it's like a scaly armor, right? Scaly armor, but her skin is infused with it. And Lion he's like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Who are you? And Tukey, being the kind of character that she is, they got this little fun banter going on back and forth, right? Tukey is not making much sense, or so it would seem, but she's not making much sense to Lion. Like, anytime Lion tries to talk to her, she gives these really weird responses where like she's almost like she's chanting the same words or phrases over and over again. And Lion is, obviously he's taken aback. He's like confused. He's like lost, and he's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, he even noticed that she eats food weird. Like, she eats the raw part of meat, and it uncooked. And it's like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, you ain't gonna cook this? You ain't gonna even put seasoning on it? Okay, I'm kind of okay, I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but that's how it is. Like, you ain't gonna even put no seasoning on that, no pepper, no salt, bro. What's good with it? You know what I'm saying? What's good? I cooked some food for you. Why didn't you eat the cooked stuff? But you eating the raw stuff. What's good with you, man? And he notices all these weird things about Tukey, but over time, he just writes it off as her being this like really weird, quirky character. And you know, he gets a jolting energy once he find out that Tukey may know where his parents is. So he follows Tukey and he follows Tukey and through the forest, and he loses her briefly. He has this weird interaction with this cave that is in this forest, and it's like, you know, when he interacts with this this cave, it's very you know, you get a very a stern sense of urgency, and it's, you know, the weather is now acting up again, and it's going crazy, it's going ham, right? So, you know, Tukey saves him in the last second and then smacks him, bring him back to his senses, brings him to this like this sort of these pillars in the middle of this like plain, right? And he thought his parents were there, but he doesn't see them. There's not there. He not there. So what is good? Tukey, what are you doing, bruh? What are you doing? But anyway, you know, he figures that, okay, I can't stay here for too long. All right, I understand. I know that maybe, you know, maybe I should stay here, but I can't. I gotta go find my parents. I gotta go find them. And Tukey, you could come with me, man. Like, you don't have to stay here. Looks like you don't. You've been here for a while. Don't look like you have any parents or anything yourself. Might as well stick together. So come on through. You know. Next thing you know, he's falling through the floor. The environment starts to melt around him, and he's falling into this void of light, and he thinks he's about to die, but then Tukey catches him, and it's almost like she matures in front of his eyes, and she tells him in this uncharacteristic, very clear and concise way that the hard part's over, Lion. Here we go. And next thing you know, he wakes up in this room, and the environment seems to be normal. Everything seems to be okay, but he's in his room and he's in his bed, and he's like hooked up to these machines, and he's hurt and he's alone. And he's like, what the heck just happened? What is going on? Now I'm in almost like this room, and I'm hooked up to all these machines. What is going on here, right? So that's when, you know, he is introduced to the Kendrick family. And, you know, Lisa, Dior, and Jill, you know, they are a family to the truest sense of the word. I made their interactions to be very special and unique with each other. And, you know, just, man, I like, when I think about a family in this sort of fantasy, sci-fi world, you know, where, you know, you got this strong black family that's like being represented, you know what I'm saying, to the audience. And I'm thinking, that's them. That's them. That's the family, right? You got this historian, adventurer, you know what I'm saying? You got this, you got a historian, adventurer, the father, and Jail, you know, she is you know, the attorney, not attorney general. She's the nursing general or something like that. I forgot her exact title, but she is like the top nurse. Okay, she's the top doctor, not nurse, doctor. You know, top doctor of the entire army, right? And you know, and she's well connected politically, and you know, wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like she is this, you know, this black woman that's just on top of the pile, you know, on top of G. You feel me? And you know, Dior being the type of character, he's an historian, he's adventurer. You know what I'm saying? He's very masculine, and you know, but these are older people, older folks. You know what I'm saying? They're graying. They got that grayness, you know, to them, and you know, they are. And Lisa, she's you know, the too smart for her own good little girl who you know, who's almost a little bit tomboyish because she likes martial arts and she likes fighting and she likes to learn about, you know, the she thinks the interesting parts of history is like, the learning about the war strategy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? She don't like Matt too much, and she don't like to dress up in dresses and stuff. Even though a lot of people like to say, "Oh, you got a great singing voice. You got a great singing voice. You should be a singer. You should be a singer." No, no. She likes to go on adventures with her father. You know what I'm saying? She likes to get into the fray, and she ain't scared to throw them hands. You know what I'm saying? So that's Lisa's character. That's Lisa's character. At the same time, she's a little girl. You know what I'm saying? She's a little girl. She has fun and she's learning. Even though a lot of the time she's sassy. You know what I'm saying? She's real sassy, and but that's her character. Her character's fun. Her character's engaging, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? So. Let's talk. Keep going with the plot. So they find out, once Lyon comes back to health after interacting with the family briefly. He after an assessment, Jill finds out that he's paralyzed. So the family's like, wow, like this dude, like we found the little dude, we found Lyon, this little kid in the middle of nowhere. We takes him in, we found him. He was bloodied, and he was injured big time. You feel me? So they're like, okay, all right, that makes sense. It sucks, but it makes sense. So let's help him. Let's see if we can nurse him back to health or whatever, right? So over time, he become accustomed to the environment, or to his immediate environment anyway. The house that they live in, the forest behind the house, the settlement that's being built not too far from where they're stationed. And that's when you get a taste of the different cultures. So Lyon, elaborates further about his family and, the sort of type of things that he learned from his family, about, the moons and the parent star of their planet, right? Now, obviously, when he talks about these things, he's from a different culture, is different, they're Renzitos, he's him and his family, they're Renzitos, and Lisa, Dior, Jill, they're humans. They're humans. They're not a Renzito, so they come from different cultures. They come from different, ways of life, and they got different names for stuff. So they've this was an interaction between Lisa and Lyon and the kids, and Lisa's making fun of him for calling the name of the parent star of their planet something that that is fine in his culture, but in their culture they're like, what the heck are you talking about? That's not the name of the parent star. You know what I'm saying? And she started making fun of him because that she's trying to be a kid or whatever, and it didn't go all too well. Got Lyon mad. She got sent in the house because she's crazy. She acting all crazy or whatever. But they make it up in dinner. So dinner comes. Lyon is just. He's eating, bro. I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? Got all this food on the table for me? For me? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, we getting it in, boy, So, Lyon eats. He eats. And, now that he's feeling a little better, he got some food in his stomach. It's a perfect time to start asking more questions about his family, what happened to him, his situation, how did he get where he got, what's going on with you? He spills the beans. He's like, yo, look, I grew up in a Meridian Forest, you know what I'm saying? My parents, they went to stop the Civil War, blew up, big explosion. I got caught in it. That's how I don't know how I got here, but that's what happened. They're like, yo, that happened on the other side of the continent. How did you get from there to here? And not only that, we found you in the middle of an uninhabitable zone. What were you doing there? What? Like, so, they're like, yo, what is going on? This ain't making no sense. So they're like, well, Lyon's like, look, I don't know exactly what happened. I'm just trying to save my family at this point. I really have to get back on my feet. I have to work my way out of entropy. I need to get my motor skills back together. I need to do this because I know my family is out there and I need to save them. So, they see that resolve, they see that strength within them, and they see that fire because, like, they just look at them and like, you know what? Okay, we gonna help you. We gonna help you, bro. We gonna help you get you on your feet, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it all boils down. Later on in the night, Lisa, says apologizes to Lyon. Half because she wants to, other half because she's being made to. And and the thing about it is, it feels very authentic. It feels like the characters are essentially writing themselves. They're living. They're alive, and that's I love that. I love that feeling, man. Okay, so let's get into some other specifics before the end of this video. So, Lyon, in his sort of when he's interacting with Lisa during the scene where he's interacting with Lisa in jail, explaining sort of the parent star. You get a little taste of the Renzito culture, and it's a flashback with him, his father, and his aunt Rose. They're out on a training, assignment, and he gets to describing the parent star of Nee, and he describes it as this black ball with this fiery aura around it that extends in space. Sounds familiar? If it doesn't, that would be that right there, man. Like I'm so man, when I say that description, like when I was thinking about making that book cover and the significance with it's the significance with the cover and the book and how it is indicative of the story and the characters and stuff like that, man. Like that is a very, very important scene that shows, if you notice closely, it shows that Lyon is actually seeing their parent star a lot different than everybody else. Because Jill, after the flashback, he looks up at the parent star and just stares at it like it's normal, that's how he normally does. It's not hurting him or anything. And Jill's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" So she covers his eyes and like, "Don't do that. You don't stare at the sun." Or in their on their planet, it will be called. So Gilleron is the Renzito name for their parent star, but in their culture, in the Federal Union culture, Young Yi is the name of the parent star. So Young Yi, you see what I'm saying? So Jill's like, "Yo, you don't stare at Young Yi. It'll blind you. It'll destroy your retinas. You'll burn them out." And he's like, "What? Really? That'll happen? Like it never happened before? Like retinas? I don't know what that is, but I've stared at it a couple times. It never happened to me." See, there's a really important significance to that. So you notice that this character doesn't even look at the parent star the same. It's different. But it will take some time for everybody else to catch on to it or get used to it. So that's a very important detail, man. Very important detail. So Lyon is looking at that parent star differently. And you also get to get the feeling of other cultural differences and the clash of cultures. Like, for example, praying, right? When they say their prayers to dinner, Lyon's like, "Yo, what are y'all doing? Like, we ain't eating? What's good? Like, hey, bruh, I got a plate of food in front of me. Come on." And they're like, "No, we should say our prayers." And they offer for they offer for Lyon to pray. And Lyon's like, "I don't know how or what that is." You see what I'm saying? They're like, "Okay, cool. I'll do it this time." So Jill's like, "I'll do it," and give a quick prayer before dinner. and they say Neodor. Now, Neodor, that I like coming up with that phrase, I think was a highlight of the book itself. Like coming up with that phrase Neodor. It essentially means praise me or praises, praises from knee. Any interaction with knee and praising and worshiping, Neodor is the statement that sort of capsulizes that. So in their religion, they're actually praising the planet. That's their religion. And this is a normal religion throughout the federal union, and you know what I'm saying. So that's their religious practice. They pray to the planet, right? So man, it's like just coming up with these different concepts of culture and character interaction. It was just so dope. It was so dope. And also let's take a little stroll back to when Lion was interacting with Tukey. So if you notice when you read the book, right, Tukey, when he's interacting with Tukey and he's in a strange world, the weather and the world itself seems to interact with his emotions. When he's feeling sad, the sky rains. And there's no clouds in the sky, and there's really weird array of light coming down, every now and then, right? No sun, no parent star, but this light coming from somewhere, and this hole in the sky, right? So you'll notice later on in the book that he was in his mind the whole time. Like this mental space, he was in it. And we'll talk more about that in the next chapter because he gets a little bit into that in the next chapter, right? But it's dope. I thought that interaction was really dope because, the world is sort of molded in that sort of instance, right? And just being able to, have that sense of connection with the character and the environment around him, and you the reader, being thrown into that situation in order to try to figure it out. Okay, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is the sky, why is the sky doing this anytime that he's getting ready to cry, or when he's angry, there's thunder around, or when he's when he's happy, the everything lights up with fresh air and sunshine and stuff like that. Like, what's going on? You now you figured it out. He was in his head the whole time. He was dreaming. It's dope. It's dope, man. I love it. Anyway, let me cut it here. This is Mario, owner and operator of Minutes Till Dawn Productions. Please like, please share, subscribe. Also, if you are a Patreon member, you're going to get access to exclusive content, and we are going to talk about Chris's name. So that's the brother of the Kendrick family. So we're going to talk about Chris's name. We're going to talk about Dior's original name. You see what I'm saying? We're going to talk about deleted content. We're going to talk about Lisa moving from a minor to a major character. And we're also going to talk about imagination within the imagined. So come and join your boy on Patreon. We talking about this exclusive content over there. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Much love to all the family. Much love to the fans. Much love to the friends. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be cool. Everlast.